Hello, my dear student of HSC level. Welcome to my class. Here is your ma'am Aisha Khatun, lecturer in Department of English, Tongi Government College, Gazipur. Wish you all are safe and sound by the Almighty Allah, and of course trying your best to do well in your studies. So today my session is going to deal with letters. That's mean informal letters or emails, which is included in your English first paper syllabus. So before going to discuss the topics informal letters or email, I'd like to discuss actually what is letter. So let's see. Letters are a form of verbal and written communication which contains information or message sent by one party to another to convey the message. It is sent by one party to another to provide certain important information. So I think you have already guessed actually what the letters are. So in writing letter, there are two types of writing letters. One, the formal letters, and two, the informal letters. Okay, now let's see the definition of formal letter or different kinds of letter. At first, come to formal letter. The formal letters are written for business and professional purposes with a specific objective in mind and also with a prescribed format. So keep it in your mind that formal letters are written for business and professional purposes and of course with a specific objective in mind and of course maintain a prescribed format. So it uses simple language that can be easy to read and interpret. Such letters are used for variety of reasons like formal invitation, proposal, reference, making a complaint or inquiry, applying for a job also. So while you are going to write a formal letter, you must have to keep in mind the following things. Like, it should be a specific format. It should avoid the use of unnecessary words. It should be straight to the point. It should be relevant and objective. It should be polite, even if it is a complaint letter. And the last one is it should be free from mistakes. For an example, the grammatical as well as also spelling. So I think you have already tried to keep it in your mind the following things or necessary things that should be followed in writing a formal letters. Informal letter. So in compare with the formal letter, actually the informal letter on the contrary, informal letters are written to friends or relatives for personal communication and uses a casual or an emotional tone. But to whom? To friends or relatives. For what? For personal communication. And also use what type of tone? That is using casual or emotional tone. Such letters can be used for some reasons like conveying messages, news, giving advice, congratulate recipients, request information, asking questions, etc. There is no specific format that is prescribed for writing this letter, but writing an informal letter, depending on the familiarity with the recipient, one must have to follow the following things. Like, one can afford to be friendly, so you must have to be friendly with to whom you are going to write this letter. Then you make use personal or emotional tone according to the relationship to whom you are going to write down this letter. may use slang, it's mean your local language, or colloquial terms, it's also meaning that, code, abbreviation, etc. may be short or long and also often lively. It's mean that when you are writing your messages to your friend or your lead, it seems that you were in front of him, just you're delivering your own speeches to them. It's mean that just you are directly talking to him or her as well. Okay, now come email. As in your syllabus, you have to, in your question paper, especially in your first paper, you have to write down the email. So let's see what is email is. Actually, email is a short for electronic mail, which is one of the most widely used features of internet along with the web. It all allows you to send or receive messages to and from anyone with an email address anywhere in the world. So while writing an informal email, you must have to keep it in your mind the following things like use formulaic expression to start or finish your email, use informal words or expression, use a small letter for email ID. This is very important term for all my students, because most of the students forget to write the email ID in small letter. So of course try to maintain this while you are going to write down. And you can also use contracted forms like don't, haven't, aren't, I am, etc. while you are writing an email. So all these things about just the introduction of letters, whether informal letter or formal letters and email. So my next class will be about how to write an informal letter or email, and this in my topic is informal letters or email, which is included in your English first paper, and in the question it comes question number 9 and the total mark is 8. So till then, my dear student, please stay home and be concentrated to your studies. Don't be so afraid or don't be so worried about the present situation of the world. Inshallah, everything will be okay with the passage of time. So till then, thank you everyone. Thank you for being in my class.